Na po ng Senate impeachment trial kay Chief Justice Renato Corona. Kanina, Gio, ay before they paused for a break, ay nagkainitan sa pagitan ng isa sa mga private prosecutors, itong si Attorney Vitaliano Aguirre. At dalawa actually sa mga senator judges, si Senadora Jinggoy Estrada, na pumansin dito sa naging decorum nitong si Attorney Aguirre at syempre naman si Attorney Miriam Santiago, na siyang pinagtakipan ng nitong private prosecutor habang siya ay nagsasagawa ng kanyang manifestation. At samantala po, magbabalik po kami live mula dito sa Senado matapos itong mahalaga nating mga paalala.
Sorry, akala ko.
Ganap ang dengue, mag-abakada, aksyon barangay kontra dengue. Hanapin at linisin sa tahanan at bakuran ang
At nagbabalik po tayo sa ating live coverage ng Senate impeachment trial ni Chief Justice Renato Corona. Balikan natin si Attorney JJ. Attorney JJ, sa tingin mo, ano kayang magiging akto ng Senate Impeachment Court dito sa ginawa ni Attorney Vitaliano Aguirre?
Well, we can only trust yung samahan nitong mga mahistrado natin. But I suppose meron din naman silang Committee on Discipline o mapagsabihan man lang yung isa sa kanila na kung napakatindi na nung kanilang opinion o nararamdaman sa isang mali na nakikita nila, siguro they should also exercise restraint. Kasi ito naman hindi naman ordinaryong proceeding itong pinagdaraanan nating lahat.
Mga kaibigan, na kanina lamang po ay nakita niyong finlash sa inyong mga television screens itong nangyari dito sa loob ng Senado. Nakikita po natin si Senadora Miriam Defensor Santiago na nagsasagawa ng kanyang manifestation. At ito po ay itong nasa gitna, isa sa mga private prosecutors, Attorney Vitaliano Aguirre, na nagtatakip ng tenga habang nagsasalita po ang senador. Attorney JJ, ano po ba yung parusa pag na-cite ang isang tao for contempt?
Iba-ibang klase ng contempt yan, pero kung kagaya nga nito, hindi natin alam kung indirect contempt ba yung gusto niyang gawin or direct contempt. Kasi kung direct contempt, yan ay may istorbo niya yung nang direkta yung proceedings. Kung indirect naman, ay may hindi siya sinunod na utos ng korte. Sa pangyayaring ito, depende sa Senate tribunal, kung ang gagawin nila sa pag-cite ng contempt, isasama yung kanyang pagkulong dito sa loob or pababayarin lamang siya ng fine or both.
Samantalang puntahan natin ang press briefing ng prosecution.
Senator Miriam, and to the extent na isa-cite niya daw for contempt yung isang prosecution member.
Well, kami nasasaktan pa rin sapagkat hindi ho ata maganda na natatawagan ho kami ng ganong klaseng mga salita at mahalaga rin nga po yung dignidad ng isang tao, kahit sino man, kahit anong antas niya sa kabuhay, whether mayaman, mahirap, magaling, hindi magaling, matalino, o hindi gaano matalino. Palagay ko, importante nga po yung salita po ng ating presiding officer na mahalaga po yung maging kalmado ho tayo at siguro maganda po na may konting respeto po tayo sa isa't isa.
Sir, but
dagdag lang, pumunta po kami dito sa impeachment tribunal because we respect the process. We respect the senator judge. So let's wait first before we continue.
Examinees pass the bar exams today, and they look upon this impeachment court as a shining example, I would like to think, of what the law practice is supposed to be like. Mr. President, every bar examinee knows that utmost respect is due the judge as soon as a lawyer walks into his courtroom. In fact, even outside the courtroom. A lawyer may disagree with the court, Your Honor, but he is not. He is never allowed to display such arrogance and disrespect towards the court. Mr. President, the rules are very clear. Section 1 under Rule 71 states, direct contempt punishable summarily. a person guilty of misbehavior in the presence of or so near a court as to obstruct or interrupt the proceedings before the same, including disrespect towards the court, may be summarily adjudged in contempt by such court and punished by a fine not exceeding 2,000 pesos or imprisonment not exceeding 10 days or both, if it be a regional trial court or a court of equivalent or higher rank, or a fine not exceeding 200 pesos or imprisonment not exceeding 1 day or both, if it be a lower court. Mr. President, I second the motion of Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago to hold the lawyer in contempt. We will hold under advisement the actual and the appropriate penalty for this contemptuous act. I so submit, Mr. President.
All right. May I...
Mr. President, if I may also add, in the meantime, I move that he be excluded from this impeachment trial court.
Is the counsel for the prosecutor still present in the courtroom?
He's not anymore here inside. He's not anymore inside the courtroom,
yes,
Mr. President.
This presiding officer, before he makes a ruling, would like to say something. If you remember, at the beginning of our proceedings, I made an opening statement, and I requested everybody, especially the lawyers on both sides, because I know that it is not far-fetched that things like this would come before us, considering the passions, the heat, the intensity of emotions that will arise in the course of this proceeding. And indeed, today we have witnessed a direct indication of a disrespect by a member of the bar to this court. And while in all my years of trial and professional practice, I have appeared before many of our stern judges in this country, and many of them were very stern. We were taught to practice a behavior, a professional behavior of utmost control and respect to the dignity of the court before whom we appeared. And I must say that I cannot tolerate any disrespect of this court and to any member of this court as a presiding officer. Maybe my fellow lawyers will think of me as an old head in this profession, the traditionalist, but that is the norm that I have learned from my first year in College of Law of the University of the Philippines all the way to the time that I entered public service at the height of my active law practice. And so, indeed, there is a ground.
Mr. President.
Just a minute, may I request the lawyer not to interrupt this court?
I'm sorry, Mr. President.
Yes. Please sit down, Mr. Counsel. There must be an order in a courtroom. You can rise after the presiding officer in the court has spoken. Now, there's a motion to cite a member of the prosecution panel for contempt, and that motion is duly seconded, and it cannot be set aside. And indeed, the person concerned was given a chance to explain what he did and why he did it. And he openly admitted in court that he did it purposely because he felt offended. And so therefore it was a sign of his disrespect to a member of this court, and that cannot be allowed to pass. And it must be dealt with accordingly, according to the rules applicable in this particular circumstance. And so therefore, what is the pleasure of this court? I am not the court. I want the pleasure of this court.
Mr. President, I have seconded the motion of the Honorable Miriam Defensor Santiago, and I believe our colleagues are all supporting this motion, Mr. President.
Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, is there anyone in the prosecution that would like to make a statement?
Yes, Mr. President. Precisely, I wanted to rise earlier, and I'm sorry for the interruption, because on behalf of the prosecution, we would like to express our regrets for what happened to the Honorable Court, especially to the lady from Iloilo, for what happened. The private prosecutor is under our control, so we feel that we have to express our regrets, Mr. President.
Yes, the prosecution panel, like the provincial or city fiscal in the prosecution service of the government, is always in control of the case of the government against an accused. A private prosecutor cannot do anything without the control of the prosecution panel. And it was your responsibility to see to it that the private prosecutors that you bring into this courtroom to assist you in the prosecution of this impeachment trial will carry themselves according to the norms of the profession and the conduct that they ought to practice inside a courtroom. So, given your apology, we'll accept it, but nonetheless, we will enforce respect to this court. And so, if there's no objection to the motion of the lady senator from Iloilo, and seconded by the lady senator from Taguig, the gentleman who is a member, the private member of the prosecution panel, is hereby cited for contempt, and the penalty that will be meted by this court against him will be taken up in a caucus by this court next week.
Mr. President. Thank you.
From here on, all concerned must take note of this. We will no longer tolerate a misbehavior like this. If you want to participate in this proceeding, we are welcome. But if you do not believe in the dignity of this court or its jurisdiction over you, if you think that you're better than us, as lawyers, you're better than us, well, we are entitled to your opinion, but we will enforce the rules of procedures that are applicable in a court like this. So ordered.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Related to that, I move that the caucus of the Senate as an impeachment court be moved on Tuesday at 12 noon.
Any objection? Hearing none, the motion of the Majority Floor Leader is approved.
Also, Mr. President, may I move that the Senate legislative session, which is scheduled on Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning, be moved to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On that
Any
same
objection?
Tuesday, after the caucus, Mr. President. Tuesday.
The chair hears none, the motion